space. Some regions are vast and empty, other areas we call closets. Fortunately, Kevin from the Container Store has answers.
Right.
Kevin, what gives you the power over space?
I'd say Elfa customizable closets. With free design and Elfa's adjustable shelving and drawers, I can create space in any size closet.
Kevin, master of space and closets.
Or just Kevin. Plus, right now, save 30% on Elfa and installation and earn up to $500 in credit through February 10th.
At the Container Store, where space comes from.
Where is that music coming from?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Shooter's Rest Radio. Tonight we have a very special
Blog Talk
guest.
Radio.
Wonderful.
Yeah. We got music.
Company,
I'm here.
always on the run.
Okay, that was loud.
Yeah,
Right?
I didn't realize it was so
You could have
loud.
warned me, Jay.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was that loud. I didn't have headphones on last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's enough intro. All right, well, welcome to the Shooter's Rest Radio. I'm Jay, and today we have Claire as a co-host, and Travis has come back from his reign of not being good last week, and Victor's out sick this week. And we are on the line with the wonderful Miss Natalie Numbers.
Thank you, Jay. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very excited to be a part of this.
Well, welcome, and thank you for coming on. It's always exciting to have somebody else come on the radio because we've never heard talk to them before.
You
so-
make it sound so
So what?
So just plain, like just, it's just a show.
That is.
We're just there.
Yeah, we're
no,
well,
it's
we're
a
all
cool
just
show.
okay, but it's a cool show of four people sitting around a kitchen table talking to each other about stuff.
Yes. Especially self-defense and gun stuff.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Even better.
Yes, and hopefully nobody's consuming alcohol while holding a firearm tonight.
Oh, yeah, right.
Not yet.
Not both
No,
at the
not.
same time.
I'm just making sure mine's clear. So. Well, anyway, today's show is called To Pew or Not to Pew, since everybody wants to take the word shoot out of the equation. So we're calling it Pew now.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. I thought it was some
not-
weird acronym I had never heard of.
Yeah, we're making fun of the gun grabbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got three positions on an AR-15. You got no pew, pew, and pew, pew, pew.
Right.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm all ready for a 3-round pew.
A 3-round pew. I'll take a
That's
you
it?
know a multiple, a 30-round pew if I could. Maybe go get me a Beta Mag with 100 rounds.
There you go.
Though I don't think they're
Natalie.
very good for self-defense.
Well, I was going to say, that would take care of just about anything, even the zombie evasion.
I think I would just go nuts. I got to fire an old M231, which is basically an AR that the Army uses that goes in the backside of a Bradley. A port firing hole in the back ramp of a Bradley. It fires from the open bolt position, but it drains 30 rounds in 2.3 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about.
And those are the most amazing miniature. They're short-barreled. There's no handguards. There's no sights. You basically wrap the rest of the barrel with a piece of cloth and hold on for dear life. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Oh, it's fun. But, yeah, so I'm going to let Natalie go ahead and share her story, tell us a little bit about herself, or tell the listeners a little bit about herself, and we'll continue on from there.
Well, I think my background is maybe a little bit different than a lot of the more prominent people in the firearms industry, because I actually didn't grow up around guns at all. My father is French, and I grew up in Europe, and guns were definitely not a part of the culture there. And my parents were both academics as well, so it really, I don't think it reached, the gun grabbing levels that you can sometimes see, but it was definitely, guns were just not a part of the everyday world. And I actually had a friend who chased me with her father's gun that she found in a drawer when I was about 6, so that kind of turned me off of firearms. And I didn't pick them up until I was older, but I just thought I really liked the idea of being able to just be, responsible for yourself and able to protect yourself and able to take care of whatever you needed to do without having to just wait helplessly for something bad to happen. And so I started shooting, and I shot once, and then I decided to join the Army, and I met the man who would become my husband, and he took me shooting. And right away I said, I want something I can feel is a real gun. So he put a .44 Magnum Ruger Red Hawk in my hands, and we had a blast with it. It was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I've been shooting on and off ever since, and, of course, in the military a bit, and even branched out into archery. And, it's always been important to me to reach out to people who have the same kind of background as I do, where they grew up in an environment that makes guns very intimidating and makes them seem bad and makes them seem prone to just committing violence all by themselves, or like if you pick one up, you're going to become a horrible monster who wants to go and kill people. And so it prevents them from really learning more. And in the meantime, it leaves them very defenseless, and it makes them not understand that trying to take guns away will leave the rest of us defenseless. And so it's important to reach out to that kind of group and say, there's a lot of intimidation, there's a lot of misinformation, and all I want to do is help educate people and hopefully empower them to make choices that are right for them and that make sense and that are not just out of some ignorant emotion. And so I became an instructor, and an NRA instructor, and this was about 7 years ago. And then right after that, my oldest son was diagnosed with cancer, and all my personal plans went on hold as we helped him through his treatment, and had a couple more babies as well. And so that kind of took up some of my time. And finally, he's been reaching the end of his treatment, is done now. So I renewed all my credentials and added some more courses, and also became part of a women's shooter group called the Well-Armed Woman, and became a chapter leader here in Tennessee. And so now I try to reach out to give people the instruction they need, and as well to encourage women in the industry to become more empowered and educated about firearms.
That's awesome.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I kind of grew up in the same background. I grew up in the States, of course, but my parents, both being Air Force, never wanted guns in the house. They weren't allowed in the house, and I didn't start shooting until I was 16. So I didn't, and even then they were very reluctant, and that was to go deer hunting.
Right.
So
right.
As soon as I joined the Army is when I started learning how to really, really shoot.
Yeah.
And then...
We all men in the Army.
Yeah. I shot. You can ask Travis. I shot a lot. Shooting was my blood. Yep. That was my bread and butter. He was just a background. Travis used to be my soldier down when we were in Texas together. And now we're both out, so...
Right.
Cool.
Many years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't. Make it sound like it was ancient history. It's only like what, 5 years, 6, 7.
You older than that, though, man. God.
7 years ago.
It's almost a decade.
Oh, gee, thanks, appreciate it. No, we came back from Iraq. We came back from Iraq in 2008. So. Yeah. There, not that long ago. Half a decade. Shut up.
It just feels like it's...
Yeah.
especially when the VA and everybody runs through the ringer. Years feel like decades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the VA sucks. We all know. All right. Well, let's kick this off a little here with.
Okay.
Hey, Claire, why don't you give us some background?
Okay. Well. What?
You're newer to the last week you didn't give any background. This week you're going to have to. There. Is that better?
Okay. Okay. Sure. Well, I'm from Rhode Island, believe it or not. Up here, northeast. Nothing spectacular, but no, my dad was a Navy veteran, and he was also a trophy hunter. I grew up since I was little just loving his guns, and he would say, "Okay, come here," and get that dangerous curiosity, because some kids they're not taught the respect that they need to be taught, especially being little. And he would show me, this is what this part of the gun does, this is what that part does. And as I grew up, he taught me how to clean them properly. And I'd always go with him on any and every hunting and camping trip you could think of. So I was brought up around them. I was brought up to respect them and not think of them as a toy. They're not toys.
Yeah.
And now my son, he's actually a pretty good shot. He's a special needs child, but he's very smart with a lot of different things, especially when it comes to watching Mom and staying the distance that he needs to stay. And he's a really good shot. I mean, he can, especially with bow and arrow, archery.
Mhm.
I think he's better with archery than he is with a BB gun, and he's good with a BB gun. And I mean, to see him is it's actually pretty cool, because he will just get down on one knee, let that thing go, and he'll get a bullseye almost every time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, how does he do it? I'm like, I'm good at it, but not that good. And it was like he was just born to do it, because he never picked one up before, and I had gotten him a starter, and that was it.
Yeah, and I just started my young son with his archery. He wanted a bow. We got him a bow.
Mhm.
We started them all shooting at 5 with BB guns, and then at 8 they get to shoot 22s. At 12 they can shoot anything that we have available.
Right.
Generally they shy away from the bigger calibers, the 45 that I carry every day. They kind of don't want to play with. Go out and shoot. I wouldn't say play with. Go out and shoot 22s, ARs, even a 12-gauge shotgun, a 30-30. They'll play. Or they'll go out and hit targets with those. But we try to graduate based on their maturity level.
Yeah.
Now he's 7. I don't think he's ready to graduate to a 22 yet. I don't think he'll be ready next year. He may possibly be ready the next year, but I'm not quite certain yet. So.
Yeah. We took a while with our oldest as well. He had a BB gun and he'd been promised a 22, but we had to tell him, it's going to depend on when you can, have a certain maturity, and I think that helps, because when he got it, he knew it really meant something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He knew it meant we really trusted that there's, it wasn't a punishment to make him wait. It was just, I just don't think you're ready. And when he was ready, he knew it really meant something, and he tries to live up to that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, all right. Now that we got that out there and people are thinking about it, let's go ahead and move into some off-the-wall topics, maybe a little 2 Alpha news first, because there's some craziness happening. Mississippi just